Whoa! Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
How pathetic can some people be?
I'm happy that I'm in a relationship finally, because I was single for a very long time, which was fine, by the way. Like, I was single into my 30s, and I was so happy, but my friends were like, no, weird, meet a stranger, get on the internet, get in his car, go to dinner, go! I was like, okay, that's how people die, but I guess I'm hungry, sure. You know? Because I was never like that person. Like, we all have that friend that's single that's like a little too desperate. You know, like I have that girlfriend that's like, oh my God, I'm single. What's wrong with me? Like, one of these days I'm just going to tell her, you know? I'll be like, you're crazy.
Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KCOC.
You never had to worry about that, getting harped on about being single? I mean, you were.
It was the opposite. My mom was so worried about the fact that I got so serious about my first, real girlfriend. Like, I'd introduced a handful of girls to my parents, but Charlene was coming around, and then within a month, I bought her this promise ring, and it was within 3 weeks. We met December.
Band from Wisconsin.
We met like at the end of November, early December. And Christmas, I gave her this teddy bear with a ring on it. My mom thought it was an engagement ring. She freaked out. I'm like, no, it's just one of those promise rings. That's what you do.
It's kind of an engagement ring.
And so
she got so freaked out that you waited a good 20 years before you gave her the real engagement ring.
And then I waited 13, actually, not 20. But so she would actually bring her single friends in as like an intervention and separate her, Charlene and I. This was months later. Like 4 or 5 months later, and tell us that there's other people out there and we shouldn't get so serious. And we should see. I'm like, dude, shut up. This girl's putting out. With me.
All it took was a promise.
I don't know if I can get that again. Look at me. I'm short. I got weird teeth. So, it was the opposite.
Apparently, millennials are totally cool with being single and lonely as long as they have the companionship of a plant.
Of course. What a bunch of weirdos. It's not an animal, right? Not a bird which is or a fish. Those are weird animals.
Nick Kutsumpsis is a plant daddy. Okay? He
calls himself Plant Daddy?
Yeah. He has turned his passion for agriculture. Now, his passion for agriculture is he has been able to grow tomatoes in his apartment with moderate success. This is such a lost art now that generations didn't even know you could do this kind of stuff. So now,
well, you're a tomato farmer.
Opportunist. I don't make a big deal about it.
No, but I'm just saying, you asked the gal here that has a horse to bring you some of her manure. That's gross, but
it's really good manure. Nick Katsoupas is a plant consultant for millennials.
Okay. Is he making money?
Yes.
Oh, well, then he's smart.
Because he lives in San Francisco. And that's what you do. You say, hey, I'm a plant consultant, man.
Wait, he's a tomato farmer, an indoor tomato farmer. He goes around to people's apartments and says, oh, you got to put it closer to the sun.
He targets millennials who are opting to raise houseplants as opposed to having families, your traditional families. They now no longer need...
The photosynthesis is so important on these tomato plants.
They no longer need wives, husbands, or children for fulfilling life. All they need is a geranium. I don't know. Is that a house plant?
No, it's an outdoor plant.
Oh, okay.
But if they have a French balcony or something, they could do this.
See, I could never be a consultant for those.
Yeah. Jeez.
Critics say that millennials are foregoing traditional milestones to curate photogenic green spaces in their homes. The problem with this is, what are plants going to contribute to society in 20 years?
We have enough of the population, okay? I mean, we know there's so many people having kids that shouldn't be having kids. They're having multiple kids. They're getting.
So you're okay with the whole
kids.
generation?
They have tax write-offs and for welfare and all that kind of stuff. So it's probably good that there's a generation. Yes, that's what I'm getting to.
It's going to take it off.
Putting more people on the planet. I am very proud of myself. I don't like to talk about this often, but I've decided not to put more people on this planet. I've decided not to populate because we've got enough people populated.
The problem with that is if you weren't breaking your arm, patting yourself on the back.
I'm not. I've never brought it up.
And
have I ever brought it up before?
Yeah, every time you bitch about taxes and the tax breaks that the families of America get.
Yeah, you know who should be getting a tax break is me. I don't have any kids. I'm not putting kids into the system that other people have to pay for. I should be getting a tax break. I'm not costing our federal and state government more money because I'm not putting kids in that system.
Go hang out with the plant daddy. Maybe you'll be.
Why aren't single people not getting a tax break? At a certain age, over 35, if you don't have any kids, then...
You get a tax break.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No.
Your tax break is
not
you
true.
get to keep the money that you
While
make.
you're sitting there every year and freaking this microphone, damn, I swear to God.
You get to keep all the money you make.
When the tax season, which is here, and you probably already did yours because you're so damn happy, you're writing off kids left and right. I'm not writing off anything.
Yeah.
I ain't writing off kids. I'm writing the check to the government, the federal government and the state of California every single year because I decided not to have a kid and put him in a system where so everybody else has to pay. That's what I'm paying for. I'm paying for your kids, paying for their kids. Everybody listening, I'm paying for your kids if you got them.
I don't got nothing. How the system works.
I don't got nothing. No, that's exactly how the system works.
If you had kids, you would have to spend enormous amounts of money on those kids.
Well, I understand
some of that money back.
Yes, of course.
You get to keep all that money. So you get a tax break from that standpoint.
I know, but you see my point?
Yeah, no.
Single people deserve a tax break because we're not adding to the problem.
You're not contributing either, though.
Yes, I am. I'm contributing a lot.
What are you contributing to
do you
society?
want to see my checkbook?
You're angry, I got to pay taxes attitude?
No, my money, my hard-earned money goes to the state of California and it goes to the federal government every spring.
As does everybody's. It's just other people.
Not yours. You're getting a check from pretty much me. I might as well just write you a check.
You get some of it back.
Hey, here you go. Every couple of kids. There you go. I'll just write you the check, Jeff. I would at least feel better because I know your kids.
They're like, hey, you know what? You want a society in which you get to pick where your tax dollars go?
Yes, I want a society where I control everything.
Well, vote for the right people. Maybe you'll get that.
Oh, we're working on it.
In the meantime, I'm going to hook you up with a guy named Nick Katsumpis in San Francisco so he can consult you on very therapeutic, I might add, houseplants that will probably bring your rage level of having to be a white taxpayer, single taxpayer in America.
There are people out there that just heard what I said and said, oh my God, Jeremy is onto something here. Mm-hmm. Why am I paying for everybody else's kids if I don't have any?
Nobody's saying that. Congratulations, Nick. You're Jeff and Jeremy's
Dumbass of the Day.
It's Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.
You're upset that you have to pay taxes.
Well, I mean, everybody's probably not happy about paying taxes. Being a white male is a negative. I'm not upset about paying taxes. I'm upset that I don't get a break. See, you're not listening once again. I said I'm upset being a single person and me and my wife being in a single household. We have to pay more taxes than you do because we don't have kids to write off. I'm saying if you didn't have kids, then you should get a tax break.
But this is ultimately...
Because you're not putting...
You believe in capitalism, right?
Strain on the system.
You believe in capitalism, right?
Yeah.
You're a big, staunch believer in capitalism and the democratic process, right?
Yeah.
Vote for a guy that says, you know what?
Nobody's saying this.
I'm gonna give single guys tax breaks.
It's not single guys. It's couples.
Okay, couples.
Married couples.
Anybody who does not bring in kids, I'm gonna give them tax breaks. Vote for that guy and see if that guy wins as the president of the United States. Not gonna happen because most people have families. So there you go. Marketplace decides. So quit your bitching.
All right, I'm done bitching now.
Now you have another thing. Now you have another thing to bitch about. New surveys found that women that enter the elusive 1%, that's the richest people in the United States, the 1% of wealth. Guess how they got there?
Wait, okay. Are you saying that 1% of the richest people in the country or the world are women?
No. Women in the country
women that live in this country
qualify as the 1% richest in the nation. How did they get there? Hard work and determination? How do you think they got there?
So you're saying
women
that are rich.
Yes.
These are rich women.
They're 1%. They're the 1%.
I just said that and you said no.
The 1% richest women in America.
So we're talking about the 1% of this country that are women are rich.
No, that's not what I'm saying. The women and men make up the 1%, okay? So they're actually 0.5% if you want to break it down.
Okay, so
way.
women that are included in the richest 1% of the country.
How did they get
That's
there?
how you would say that.
How did they get there?
Hard work. No, probably it was passed down through family. I'm guessing.
No, the majority of women that are considered to be 1%ers.
Are they? Did they marry into it?
They married into it.
They have to.
See, that's another thing.
Women have to hate
That's
that.
another thing you can't do. You can't marry into.
Yes, I can.
Well, you could.
My wife makes more money than me,
But
she's not rich, though.
The problem is, because she's a woman. The men still have all the wealth. But you, being a straight, white American male, cannot marry a straight, white American male that's rich. So you're screwed. You can never be a 1%er because you're a man. You're a man, a white man.
Well, so are you.
Straight. I know.
What's different?
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it.
No. You're
Why?
not okay with paying taxes.
Listen, I never said, once again, you're twisting it. Spin zone. Listen, O'Reilly, I'm telling you right now, I don't have a problem with taxes. I just think that couples that don't have kids should get a tax break.
Okay.
Quit bringing it up. And now you're telling me that women, all right,
the only way you're
that are
gonna be able to
women
get
that are a part of the 1% richest people, you mean the richest 1%ers?
The easiest way to be a 1%er is to marry a 1%er, somebody that has wealth already.
Don't we do this all the time? And it's like when guys marry cougars. Why would a young guy marry a really old woman? 70, 80 years
Yeah, it
old?
doesn't happen very often, though.
It's usually the other way
flip
around.
Side, flip side, women marry old guys. Like you see young women with old guys, and you know exactly what's going on there. Only of the 1%ers, only 15% of them needed their spouse's income, meaning the men needed their women's income to push them up over the threshold. So that means 85% of the men were already 1%ers before they took on a wife. So it's not like the wife is contributing a lot in the salary range, only 15% of the time to get into the elite.
Well, things are changing, though.
5% of women
are making
come
more
from
money.
Rich families. That was your answer a minute ago. 5% of those women come from rich families, so they're already considered 1%ers.
Yeah.
So you're talking about 95% of
See
women.
how hard it is for us straight guys?
White male Americans.
Straight single guys. Well, I'm not single, but the straight single guys. I mean, you have to either earn it or you have to inherit it. That's it. You're not going to marry into it.
You can't marry into it.
I mean, you could, but you'd probably have better odds of winning the lottery.
Like I had a friend once, and I'm pretty sure he was a sex addict. And he said something.
I hate to tell you, I think all guys are sex addicts.
No, I know. He said, "Man, I could just
no
if I could just be a girl, because if I was a girl, I'd be like the number machine at a Baskin Robbins. I'd be like next."
He's like, but did you say like what? You want dudes? Do you want dudes walking through the drive-through?
Sure.
Well, that's the weirdest, gayest thing I've ever heard a straight guy say.
Well, meaning he wished the rules
all stuff
applied
that your buddies in junior high said, like weird stuff like that.
Well, in this case, in our 20s.
I just wish
I guess we weren't doing a lot of growing up.
Well, it's where you grew up by the airport, all that jet fuel.
But I remember,
it affects your brain.
That's the thing is like, as men, you couldn't call that shot, you didn't, that wasn't your thing. There will always be, as much as we want equality, stuff like this will always exist in society.
You will always know somebody who's rich and they fell into the money. Whether they married into it, it was family, somebody died, and they fell into all this money. You're like, I worked my butt off. Why can't this happen to me? Well, you just go out there and you're just proud of the work you do and proud of the person you are, and that'll have to be enough.
Bitch about having to fund the youth of America. That's all you can